How's it going, everybody? It's January 22nd, 2026. Joe from the Strange Voyage Files. And I am doing New Tattoo by Motley Crue. And this is falling under the Does It Suck category. All right, let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about Motley Crue. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about where they are. Whole shebang. So, Dr. Feelgood comes and goes. And I used to really like that album. I don't think it's aged well, and it has nothing to do with like the topics of the songs or anything. I just don't think the music holds up. So after Dr. Feelgood and then Decade of Decadence, and then Vince leaves, we get the Karabi album. Some people love it. Most people don't. It was definitely a disaster for them. The album initially sells well and doesn't really go anywhere from there. The tour goes bankrupt. It's obvious to Elektra Records that if they're going to continue to finance Motley Crue, Vince Neil needs to be back in the band. So we get Vince back. We get the absolutely universally panned Generation Swine. And that one, I mean, I guess there are people out there that like that one, but I have never come across anybody that does. Vince and Tommy do not like each other. There's a lot of animosity, which is always ironic. I found that those two hate each other because Tommy was the one that wanted Vince. They were friends. They were childhood friends or high school friends. So Tommy goes to jail. Tommy goes and realizes he doesn't want to be in Motley Crue anymore because he's going to be a rap star, and he started his own rock band, and he's going to be I went back to college reality star and everything else that flopped for him. But in a great move, they bring in the late great Randy Castillo, and this album, New Tattoo, is has the on paper the foundation to be a phenomenal album. Really, if you look at it, this should have been a really big album. It wasn't. It really kind of goes nowhere, and that's the push to have Tommy get back in the band, because of course then everything Tommy does flops, except for a certain video he did. That one made him a couple bucks. But so then after that, was that Saints of Los Angeles after that? That one was absolute garbage. Was that? I think that was the next one after that. But God, how many seriously, how many greatest hits albums? Yeah, the next studio album was Saints of Los Angeles. How many greatest hits albums can you possibly put out? At any rate, but this is a great lineup. It really is. And they have Mike Klink, who produces Guns N' Roses. I hate Guns N' Roses, but you got to give the guy credit where credit is due. He produced great albums with them, according to most people, not to me. You know what I'm going to do, because I did Appetite for Destruction. I got to do Use Your Illusion 2. That's the one I like better of the two. Do that. That's going to be in the checkbox to do. Any rate, so on paper, this should work out very well. However, they bring in, what is this clown's name? James Michael, who I guess is with 6 a.m. I never really got into Nicky's side stuff. So what does this album essentially become? Because he writes most of the album with Nicky and other members. Sorry, guys. This kind of becomes just a side project of Nicky Six. Mick Mars, even though he does have co-writing credits, he said he really isn't too involved in this album. Vince, let's see, what does Vince write here? He co-writes two songs. And he has basically said he just phoned this in. There we go. Sorry, guys. I think the only album Vince really kind of got behind was Saints of Los Angeles. I think, it was forced to do Generation Swine. And he did this one because there was really nothing else to do. And, it is what it is. So, the recipe is great. Randy Castillo is... I'll take Randy Castillo over Tommy Lee any day. Any day of the week. You look at stuff that Randy co-wrote on No Rest and No More Tears. Yes, Tommy has helped co-write some good stuff on Crue. With the Crue, I would absolutely take Castillo as a drummer, as a writer, as a person, everything all around. Of course, sadly, horrifically, he gets cancer and we lose him. All right. But this album comes out. Let's see. Where do we get? It gets number 41 on the Billboard chart. It only sells 50,000 copies. That is an absolute disaster. And you know what? Let's kind of put this. Oh my God, they have so many. Another greatest. I'm going back through Generation Swine. What Generation Swine sells? Well, Generation Swine at least sells 500,000 copies and goes to number 4, but that's on the, again, that's kind of on the hey, Vince is in the band. Let's see, what about this? What about the Motley Crue album? Motley Crue sells 500,000. And again, it goes to number 7. But it really falls. That Motley Crue album, I can't stand. I'll do that one at some point in time, not in a real big hurry. But, okay, so here's the thing with this album. It is, of all the bad Motley Crue albums after Dr. Feelgood, the consensus from what I know and from what I've heard of people, and I've listened to all these albums, this is the one that I guess if you're going to choose one, it's this one. So I decided to listen to... I have not listened to this album probably since my last Motley Crue ranking on my last channel. Listened to it this morning. I listened to it again after work. Guys, I have allergies. I am absolutely sorry. If this is the good one... I think you guys know what my overall answer is. Does this suck? Is going to be. All right, let's go through this. Let's see where. It's not pretty, guys. It is not a pretty ranking by any means. This one's really bad. And one of the things that I will say that I really hate about this album, not only that this James Michael clown is involved, it's them trying to be. I guess this comes out in 2000. That late 90s, 2000 garbage, we're coming out of grunge and we're trying to be more rock again. These bands that sounded like just whiny and annoying and a bunch of horrible so-called musicians that all got together and formed bands. It's Motley Crue trying to do that. All right, number 1, Hell on High Heels. This may have been a single. Could be wrong. Now the opening riff sounds like they're actually stealing from a cover song they did of Tonight from the Raspberries. I think it was the Raspberries, but of the cover song Tonight, which is a great song. That is an awesome song that they did, and it's cover. But the opening riff sounds like they actually stole that. I give it a 2. It sounds like Poison. This sounds like them trying to be like Poison. You know what's funny about that, too, is remember when Poison first broke big and there was a comparison to mainly Bret Michaels looking like Vince Neil, and Vince, it drove him nuts. It's kind of ironic that something sounds like Poison. But yeah, it's a 2. It sounds like Poison. It's nothing. Treat Me Like the Dog That I Am. How about I throw you away like the dog that you are? It's a 1. It's typical. This is typically them trying to sound like that late 90s, early 2000 garbage. All right, now we got the soulful ballad New Tattoo. What did I put? It's got an okay hook in the middle of it to it. It's a 2. I do not like that one at all. Drag strip superstar. So 1. Garbage. First Band on the Moon. And yeah, some of these titles are just absolutely dumb. First Band on the Moon. Whatever. It's a 1. It sounds like a demo. A demo that where they haven't even finished working on the song. Yeah, absolutely horrible. She Needs Rock and Roll is the next one. There's another James Michael, Nikki Sixx trash attempt. 90s, 2000 crap. Punched in the Teeth by Love. I had so much hope because Randy Castillo co-wrote this one. And I guess there's another one that was a bonus track, Time Bomb, I didn't listen to. I had so much hope because this is actually the band. Randy, Mick, Vince, and Nikki. And what did I give this one? Give it a 2. Somewhat sounds like real Crue, but no. The next one is Hollywood Ending. James Michael again. It's the highest one so far. It's a 3. It's an okay ballad, but next one is Fake. Again, 90s, 2000 garbage. It's a 1. Porno Star is Nikki by himself writing that one. It's a 2. It's all right. And then they did a Tubes cover of White Punks on Dope. All right. I did not usually. I've been good about adding these up beforehand. Gosh darn it, all the heck. Sorry, kids. God. You know what? Let me pause this. I don't want you guys to have to sit here and wait for me to. I'm floored. This stupid album pulls off a 1.5. Probably because that stupid Tubes cover. Because they have 11 songs on there. So it's a 2. Oh. Yeah, no. God. It is what it is, though. I mean, that's the ranking I stand by. So I guess it's a 2. Man, lucky math was on your side, new tattoo. This album sucks. This album absolutely, positively sucks. They died. They totally died after Dr. Feelgood. And I mean, what's the new garbage they came out with? And I remember I was so excited when I heard Saints of Los Angeles because I think that is one of the best Crue songs. And then I got the album and I was like, all right, it sucks after the first listen, but yeah, I listened a few more times, and by like the third time, it was just like, they're done. They're absolutely done. The Dirt is a great song, but you know, when you're covering songs like a Virgin from Madonna and the Beastie Boys, you're done. These guys are done. I mean, they suck on tour. Their albums are terrible. Call it a day, guys. Absolutely. And I hate to say it because I love the Crue. Too Fast for Love, great album. Shout at the Devil, one of the best albums of all time. Theater of Pain has kind of grown on me a little bit more. It's okay. The rest, Girls, Girls, Girls has 3 good songs. Wild Side, Girls, 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 and You're All I Need. Dr. Feelgood's probably got about 5 decent songs. But just, it's over. I mean, it's been, what, that one came out in 94? It's been 30 years? 30 years of terrible albums? Give it up. All right, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people telling me I'm crazy and whatnot. And I know a lot of people like that Karabi album. I don't know. I'll do it at some point, and maybe it'll be a higher rating. But I know I would rather listen to this than that Karabi garbage. But all right, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I will see you.